Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show, live on WBON TV Channel 9 and on radio at V99.3, Sports Radio 103.5 and Y92.5. Support your favorite local teams and enjoy the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. Also brought to you by Bishop Small Engine Repair, the law offices of Patrick O'Neill, Nuevo Vallarta, and Aero Auto Glass. Now let's go live to your hosts, Michael Watkins and Samantha Burford.
Welcome, everybody, to the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. A beautiful Monday night in Richmond. It's been hot again, though.
Beautiful.
Samantha.
Oh, yeah.
Have you been to the Madison County Fair yet?
It's 106 outside. No.
No?
It's too hot for
It
the
is too
fair.
hot. I went to the fair last night, though. I had some fun.
I'm not going to ride those rides and be all sweaty.
A lot of circles,
nasty.
too. A lot of circles, too.
That's not how I want it.
We have had so much fun.
No, I think it's great. Don't get me wrong. The kids love it. And I'm
it's
happy.
there for like 10 days, too.
Yeah,
I don't remember it being there that
no,
long.
I don't want to be out in the heat like that. Now, they do have the air conditioning in the exhibit halls and things like that. Now, I would go and enjoy that.
Wrestling. You remember Chris Hoover? We had him on the show a couple of times. The wrestling that he's doing is going to be at the fairgrounds Thursday night. So
you're going to go?
Take the kids out there and have some fun Thursday night at the fairgrounds.
You should sign your kids up for the pig.
The grease pig?
Yeah.
I thought about that, but then I got to go home and give them baths and stuff. And, yeah, I don't know if I want to do that or not. But
you should sign you up for the grease pig.
Now, that would be fun. We should go stream that, Gage. Actually, we'll make some money on that. But you know what? We are here with the 15th best coach in FCS college
in America. Can we just say it in our world?
Coach Walt Wells here with us. I had to throw that in there, Coach, because 15th. I mean, hey, we'll take it,
yeah,
right?
I'm absolutely tired.
Samantha's the 9th best co-host on the sports show.
Hey, for me to be ranked 15th in anything, that's pretty good for me. You know.
Well, that came out today. I mean, obviously, how do you I was talking to the guys last week where you guys were predicted third in the conference.
Right.
We ain't got a quarterback yet. Like, how can you do rankings like
we
that?
We did talk about that.
You go through it and look at it, and it is people just, their opinion, which is fine. But, I appreciate somebody and, appreciating what we've done here. Anything that any award I get is a combination of all the assistant coaches, support staff, players, obviously, and everybody that's involved in the program. I'm just somebody that kind of tries to stay up front.
Manage it all.
And not screw it up.
Yeah.
Well, they must like all the quarterbacks and just said no matter which one you go with, they're going to
be good.
team.
Yeah. And you've put a damn good roster together with everything you got. You look at, the team that you've put together. And, when talking to these guys, we've had so much fun over the last 2 months of just getting to know them and seeing them outside of the helmets. And, there's some
that
are
funny.
Well, that's what I say. There's some that are really funny. There's some that are really quiet.
Yeah.
Who do you think, and you know these guys, so who do you think was maybe the most outgoing? And when we look back, is there one that
and
that guy's probably the quietest?
Well,
because you were be-watching.
I would say Gabe Fletcher is.
Yeah, he's hard to beat.
Is hard to, because some of it's just natural. He's not trying to be funny.
Yeah.
It's just him. And then some of it is he's actually trying to be funny. So I think Gabe probably has the award. I'm sure there's some guys that are sneaky funny and sneaky good.
Braden was out at Latham.
last weekend was good.
Chevy with the mustache.
Chevy.
I was impressed with him. He was kind of outgoing a little bit.
I still want to call him Tonka.
That's a good nickname too.
The nicknames really are what's great, and some of them have 3 nicknames.
Well, yeah, and that's where I get confused. So I just try to. Sometimes I don't even know. Sometimes I'm like, "Hey, 14, come here," because I don't know what nickname. Don't know if you want to be called by 14th Braden Latham. So you want to be called BB. You want to be called
Butterball.
Butterball. You want to be called Braden. You want to be called Latham. What do you want to be called? And so I just say,
guy with all the
come here.
accolades.
Yeah. I just go, come here.
Preseason. You can call him a lot of names.
We're moving into fall camp, right? We are a couple of days away from that. You'll have your kickoff to that Wednesday night.
Wednesday night we'll report, or Wednesday we'll report, and we do all the, paperwork that you have to do, all the things that you have to go through. Now we have to have a little education on financials. And that's new to us, and so we have to do that. And then any physicals of guys that didn't quite get the physicals completed, and then we'll do set up for I don't know, all the stuff that we have to set up for. Then I'll do a team meeting at 4:00, and then at 5:00 or 6:00 we'll be over here at Lake Reba, and we have a big kickoff party for everybody that touches the program, ADs, support staff, all these people have been sent invitations.
People that do the interviews.
Anything, if you want to come, you're more than welcome.
I'm going to get some chicken. He's got me convinced already.
So we'll have, we have a big meal for them. We rent kayaks for them, fishing poles, and not board games, but cornhole and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Have music playing. Have a bouncy house for the little kids of all the coaches' parents. Their wives get to come because they're everybody's going to kiss their wife goodbye.
Yeah.
And,
see you in about 6 months.
See you in 6 months. And
hopefully in January.
And then so we just try to have a good time with that, and that ends up being our team meal anyway. So it helps us out there. And then the next morning 6 a.m. we're rocking and rolling.
When you do this time of year. When do you start getting ready for Louisville? Because, you've been doing a lot of things throughout the summer and the spring, but when do you start putting a plan in place for the first game of the season? Well,
the biggest thing about, your first game is even though, Jeff and his staff have been there and there's not a lot of changes, you go through and you've got to see all the changes they made in personnel. And then, we've been probably game planning for Louisville since, spring ball.
Okay.
Before spring, probably, really. We had the tape. We had everything. Probably put an initial game plan. I have the coaches give me an initial game plan at the beginning of summer, and then we go through it and do all that. And, of course, we tweak things as we see who can do what for us. And so there's a lot of unknowns, misnomers, and things like that you've got to figure out as you go through training camp, because you may be depending on this guy. Something may happen and another guy comes in, and so you have to change through with all that. And then we'll start, probably 10 days before. We'll get a little Louisville in, and we'll get a little Houston Christian in, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
All right, Coach. This being your 6th season, correct? Okay. Talk to us about what you've learned from season 1 until now, because you know that how much it's changed with NIL and everything else. Talk to us about what's been the most thing that you're the most proud of, but what you've learned the most and how you've changed.
Well, I think the most proud of, and that's a great question, because you sit there and you think about the players and how things have affected them. I'm really proud that we've kept, for the most part, our coordinators are all the same. Going into year 6 was all 3 coordinators. Derek Day is special teams, Andy Richmond is offensive coordinator, and Jake Johnson is defensive coordinator. And so to be able to, and all have had some good success. And so to be able to keep them, I think it says something about the culture of the program, the culture of the city, the culture of EKU. They enjoy being here. Our administration has stepped up and kept them at times when people have reached out to them. Things like that. I think that's important not to gloss over, because that keeps it easy for the kids. The terminology is the same. Everything's the same. Now, we tweak things. We put in new things. We use people differently. So I think that's something that's really encouraging and that I really like with our culture. I think, there's so much I've learned, because, when you think you know how you're going to handle situations as a head coach when you're an assistant, but you don't know until you know. That's right, until you're forced to do it. And, of course, I was here for December, January, February, March.
Before COVID.
COVID hits.
Yeah.
And so the biggest thing I've learned from that first year is, your plans may not be the plans of everybody else. And so you have to figure out how to get those plans to meet. And, there's a lot of ways to do that. There's, full steam ahead. I'm going to plow through everybody and make them understand that. There's, we got to educate and do different things. We got to have experiences. You got to figure out, and excuse me here and how I'd frame this, but I say, you got to worry about the elephant turds, but not the mouse turds. And, those are the things, and you got to decide what is
a big
and what isn't,
Right.
And those are 2 important things, because, if somebody asked me that in an interview type setting for a job, I would say that, because the biggest thing you learn is the program is not as important to anybody else as it is to you, because your name's on it.
Yeah.
And ultimately in the end, the failures are yours, the successes are everybody's. And that's how it goes. And so you got to try to avoid them failures. And sometimes you want, and other people don't see that vision.
Yeah.
And you can't understand that. And so how you react to that speaks a lot of how you're going to get some things done. And so it's been, we've had, I came here under one AD, I came here with no AD, got an AD, and then we got another AD, same thing, administration came here with one president, came under another president, or now I'm under another president, and all those things, and the support's been great. So you just got to continue, but you got to learn people.
Yeah.
And you got to continue to learn them.
Well, to that point, this season, going into this season's kind of like the first time since you started as the head coach where everything's kind of been like it was before, right? Because Kyle's been here for over a year now. So
that's right.
This year's like with the COVID and the conference changes and, dropping out of a conference, doing your own. This year is kind of like the first time where it's been normal. Exactly.
That is
knock on
true.
wood
And you
for
know
now.
what? I hadn't even thought about that, but it is true.
No, it's the year two of things being exactly the same. I mean, even, you look back in 22 when we won the ASUN and we went to the playoffs. I had the cardiac arrest that year. And then we come back, and the next year you think everything's going to be the same. We had some small changes, but then Matt left, and then we got last year we got Kyle in, and so now some consistency is starting to form again, and hopefully we have no major pandemics or anything like that, and we can just get some consistency in what we're doing. The biggest negative has been, the transfer portal and NIL and just navigating all that, and
But I don't know if they'll ever have that thing figured out.
Well, at least they got some parameters now. Now, I'm not going to say they're guardrails yet, but they're parameters. And so it's starting to slow down a little bit. If we would just figure out this transfer portal thing, like I'm all for it, and I'm all for paying kids and all that. I mean, nobody's asked me my opinion, so it doesn't matter really, right? But we also got to be able to build a team, and it's hard to build a team in 6 months, or in 6 weeks, and or 8 weeks over the summer, because you got guys leaving. I mean, we had guys leaving, that we were factoring in spring ball, and so you got to adjust, you got to move, and you can't worry about the ones you don't have. You worry about the ones you have and the ones you're trying to get, and so I think that COVID and the constant change of things for me, for EKU and for myself have helped me deal with the transfer portal with NIL because it's such a changing world.
To that point,
I
talked
got a
about
question on that too.
building your roster.
Yeah.
And I feel like you've done a really good job of that. I mean, you look at the depth in the running back room. I feel like the wide receivers, now that we've got some guys that are hopefully staying healthy and can, be there throughout the fall as we go into these first couple of weeks of the season, I think you've got a lot of depth on your team. And talking to these guys, they seem to think that as well. And the competitions that creates inside the locker room where you've got to bring your A game every day, even in practice, to have a spot in the starting lineup as you guys go forward.
Well, that's something we've tried to do since I've got here. I have a saying in recruiting. I learned this from Willie Taggart. And, we recruit you to come take the guys here's job. And it's the guys here's job to keep their job. And, that's called competition. If you don't enjoy that environment, don't come here. There's a couple things we tell them in recruiting, and we lose some kids because of this, because you find out real quick. If you're coming just for the money, you're coming to the wrong place.
Yeah.
If you're coming and you're not a worker and you don't love football, you're probably coming to the wrong place. And if you're not willing to compete, you're definitely coming to the wrong place. So those are the three things that we talk about in our recruiting. And our coaches, and especially our coordinators being together for so long, they understand what we're looking for and what happens in our systems and what we need and who can play and be successful. What I'm looking for, okay, because in the end, it's like I tell them, I have to approve all commitments because here's the deal. You could get a job and leave, and I'm stuck with that kid if I don't like him. So if I don't like him, he's not coming. And that doesn't mean if I don't like him as a person, that's part of it. But as a player, as a
does
body,
he fit your style,
as a body type, does he want a degree? All those type of things are important because in the end, you have to love football. As you said earlier, it's 106 degrees, and we're finishing practice probably 30 minutes ago, and that's every day. So you got to love going out there.
See, and I have a two-part question because the mamas, when you're recruiting, you're talking to the mamas, the grandmoms, maybe the dads,
Aunts,
everybody,
uncles,
aunts, uncles, brothers, siblings. They want to make sure, and with football, They know it's outdoors. We're trying to keep their sons, safe.
Right.
How do you do that in 106 degrees?
Well, we've got great trainers. Tana Pearson and her staff do a great job of monitoring them. We've got a great strength coach, which is Billy Brown, and his staff. They do a great job of watching. And our coaches understand. We have the GPS units on them that on 63 of them, which is probably the most, probably just as many as any G5 has, to be honest with you. And so we have 63 of them that monitor heart rate, miles per hour, how much distance they've gone, the player load, all that kind of stuff. And it's live data that comes in. Carson Kipp, who is our assistant strength coach, sits up underneath that Big Ten at the end, on the deck at the end of the practice field there, and we have all those, and we monitor that. We got to tell them, like, hey, man, you have to fluid. You have to eat.
Yeah.
If you don't, you're going to cramp. You're going to be over at Baptist Health, and you're going to be getting bagged. And, if they bag you, you're probably out for a day. Well, if you're out for a day, this guy's getting the reps. Two things are going to happen. He may end up right beside you, number one. Yeah. And number two, he may come back and perform better than you and give us an opportunity and Wally pip you. And so, those are things that you have to train for. And so we've had 8 weeks of them being out training and doing all that stuff. We've had OTAs, we've had individual stuff that we've done all summer long. So they had a taste of it. The last, day we were out there, they had a taste of two-spot and how hard that's going to be. And, I think some of them realized, like, oh, I didn't think it'd be that, especially the freshmen.
Yes.
I didn't think it'd be that hard. And so you find out their commitment to being a good player is more than just going out and blocking and tackling. It's your nutrition. It's your recovery. We lift one day, and then the next day at the same lift time, which is about an hour and 15 minutes, we recover. So we're boom, 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 boom. So we're not trying to wear them out anymore. Like when I played, you went 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
the heat.
You got up at 6 a.m. You went in the morning, full pads. You about from 10 to 12. You went to lunch. You came back at 3:30 and went 3:30 to 5:30.
In the hottest part of the day.
And then you went to dinner and you come back and you go from 7 to 9:30. And then curfew was at 10.
Yeah.
Or 10:30.
Yeah.
And you were in a dorm, and then boom, the next day you did it. We were on quarters, so we did that until the first game.
Yeah.
And
how times have changed.
They didn't believe in water during practice. You had it at breaks, and all that stuff. And I'm not saying that that's how we should do it. I'm just saying the knowledge has changed and the people are there. Like, we have water guns and everything.
Yeah.
We have a big tent sitting at the end of the Presnell practice field. I mean, it's huge, bigger than this. And we got chairs and fans that blow mist on them. We give them snacks like applesauce, the squeezable applesauce.
Oh, yeah. I love me some applesauce.
Or they got the little, they get the little
You love all food.
gummy things.
Oh,
Not the illegal gummies, but the gummies. And then they got
have electrolytes in them.
And they got electrolytes in them. And then they got the Gatorades or Powerade or whatever we use. I forget, we're a Coke company, whatever it is. And they've got all that. And we water them down. We've got cold towels we put on them.
You're taking care of them. It's not just go out there.
We do everything we can. The last thing I want to do is
get somebody hurt.
Get somebody hurt, or like a broken leg, a blown out shoulder or knee. That's going to happen.
Yeah.
But some overheating issues and things like that. If we're doing everything we can and they're not, then we have to continue to educate them. And we it's just. I don't want to feel heavy when I'm out. Well, you got to. It's a process that hopefully they started about 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Or even before that.
Or that.
You got
correct.
that second half of that question? Can you wait till after a commercial break?
I can wait.
Okay. Well, let's take a commercial break. We got a lot more to get to with Coach Wells and the transfer portal. We got a lot to talk about. We always say when Coach comes on, we could fill the full hour.
We're going to take the whole hour because we don't have any other guests today.
No, just me and you. We got this.
What else are we going to talk about?
We got a lot to get to. Don't go anywhere.
And more football.
There you go. It's right around the corner, folks. We'll be right back on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show.
You know what they say? Every great season starts with a strong lineup. Need agility? The Trailblazer cuts through traffic like a wide receiver in the red zone. Power? The Silverado handles work and tailgates like a linebacker on a mission. And if you're ready to go electric, the Equinox EV has the range to go all the way. No matter your game plan, Jack Burford Chevrolet has the vehicle that suits your drive. Stop in, suit up, and let's kick off your next adventure.
Who makes the best meal in Richmond? Nuevo Vallarta. Friendly service, a place that's good for kids and good for groups. Head to Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond. Nuevo Vallarta is known for warm hospitality, great prices, great food, and the best fajitas in town. Start with an appetizer, order a la carte, or choose from their huge menu of Mexican favorites for grown-ups and kids. Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond.
We would like to invite you to join our family at Bishop's Small Engine Repair. Outdoor Power has become a family tradition, with 3 generations here bringing you years of experience. We will help you find the best selection of outdoor power equipment from Co-Cadet, Grasshopper, DeWalt, Makita, Echo, Shindawa, and now Steel in our Georgetown store. Or bring your equipment into our service department. We will keep it running for years to come. And as with all families, we have to keep Mama happy. So come on in and see us at Bishop's Small Engine Repair in Richmond and in Georgetown.
Patrick O'Neill has been serving Central and Eastern Kentucky since 1995. When someone is accused of something they didn't do, or when a good person makes a mistake, they need the best representation they can find. And that's Patrick O'Neill. Whether it's criminal defense, Social Security, disability, personal injury, workers' compensation, or deeds and wills, when you need legal advice, trust the expertise of Patrick O'Neill. He will get you the money you deserve. His office is located in Jackson, but Patrick practices all over Central and Eastern Kentucky. For more information or for a free consultation, call 606-666-2990.
Our bodies deserve more. We put them through a lot, and oftentimes the aches and the stress of everyday life can take a toll. Escape all of that and enter your sanctuary of relaxation with a trip to the massage studio in Berea. Unwind, rejuvenate, and restore balance to your body and mind with help from their expert massage therapist. Like the Massage Studio on Facebook for more information, and get back to being you. Welcome back into the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. What are you laughing at? We're being mean. You're being mean today, Coach.
I mean,
Oh
I get
my
it.
gosh, Coach, who was being mean to me before the show?
You said something about me. Well, he was
And
getting
not
on to me about
inviting
my
me to
shirt because I didn't have my Pride
lunch.
Line shirt on. But yeah, Dawson's in town. So Dawson Rule used to work
Dawson's
with
in
us. Used to sit right
town.
there. He's in town. We just grabbed lunch today.
He
Caught
even
up a little
did,
bit.
you know, we were talking earlier about having the, what was it, 2 years ago? We did the show out there. It just
Yeah,
happened
he
to be
was
on
there
a
with us,
Monday
too.
night.
Yeah.
Dawson was there with us, obviously, on the
Doing
show.
big things up in North Carolina now. He is homesick though. He did tell me he was a little homesick. So
See, my husband would have lost the bet because I think my husband said he'd be back in
Back.
6 months.
yeah, no, he's doing
He's
good.
still
He's
there.
doing good.
Doing
Good for
great.
you, Dawson.
We're continuing our conversation with Coach Wells, and you had a question about the transfer portal. So you
Yeah.
kind of get into that a little bit.
Well, and it's nothing too obviously serious, but with the transfer portal, we're all kind of adjusting to it, getting used to it. You talked about how people move in, move out. You even at the last second they might leave, and there's got to be a few. You don't have to give us the names,
Right.
but there's got to be a few that you were like, I can't believe he left.
Well, not anymore. You know, that happened probably 3 years ago.
Yeah.
But anymore, you know, and I don't, this is going to sound harsh.
You expect it now, maybe?
I expect anybody to walk in the door and leave at any minute. And it's like I tell our
That's
coaches.
hard.
Is that easier for you to do it that way?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. You know, what all this has done is made it more transactional, your relationships.
Yeah.
And, you know, I try not to be that way because that's not who I am. You know, I'm not a transactional guy. I like building relationships. I enjoy getting to know people. Our players, I enjoy getting to know. I enjoy just seeing them have success. I believe, you know, we can get them to where they want to go just as good as anybody in the country. Does that mean we could have kept Jaden Higgins for 2 more years and got him to be the, you know, first pick for the Houston Texans in the second round, which was I think he was the second pick in the second round,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, I believe that. It's happened here before. And so why wouldn't it happen here again? But in the same breath, I understand he felt like he needed to leave to go get more exposure. And at that moment, they were paying. Iowa State paid him well, and we couldn't match what they were paying, and so I understand. It becomes a business. What the problem with the transfer portal is, if it's good, when it's good, it's business.
Yeah.
When it's not good, well, we're kids. Well, wait a second now.
Both ways, right?
How can you be both?
That's
Right.
where I have a problem. Okay, I don't have a problem with you telling me you're going to stay, and then you walk in 5 weeks later and tell me you're leaving. All right, I get all that. That's your decisions. It's your life. I'm 57 years old. I'm living mine, right? But don't have it. Don't say it's the same forever. No, it's not, because if you come in here and you don't do what you're supposed to be doing, then it's a business.
Still having your cake and eat it too.
Yeah,
Scenario,
we
right?
can't have all that.
Yeah.
And so it's part of being 18 to 22-year-old that makes the difference in the transfer portal as opposed to the NFL and how it works. Because most of those guys in the NFL have had to go to college for 3 years. So let's just say most of them are 21 to 22 years old when they get out of here, if they go in 3 years. And so they've got some maturity to them. Not a lot, but they've got some. And then and they're making enough money that they can have people help them make decisions and hopefully keep them out of trouble. And so those are the things that, I don't know if we can ever fix in the transfer portal, because they're still 18 to 22-year-old kids or young men. And, the 18 to 22-year-old Walt Wells was not ready for what these guys are doing.
Yeah.
And so, you got to make sure that they all understand that, and everybody's different. Well, we've lumped all this stuff into one page, and we say, oh, we got to do this. We got to, you start taking rev share, and you make a mistake, is the university going to take it away from you?
That's true. Yeah. Contract type thing,
Well,
right?
it becomes a contract, and now you've got this kid's got responsibilities. Maybe he's bought 2 cars.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And you take that rev share away because you did something not worthy of getting kicked off the team, but the university deems it in the contract that it's worthy of him not getting paid.
Man.
And, well, then what's he do? Well, he's going to go in the transfer portal to pay for those cars.
Instead of selling the car.
So you see, the coach can't control it anymore, because most people, in the NFL, if you sign a contract, normally, unless you're Aaron Rodgers or somebody and you only got 1 year left, you're signing a 3 to 5 year deal, right? So now they've got you, and you can't go anywhere. You can't go. You screw up. You can't go into transfer portal unless they cut you.
Man.
And then
there's a lot of
details.
details,
If you get
right?
cut in the NFL and you're a good player, odds are what?
You picked up somebody else.
Well, somebody's going to pick you up, but odds are this: you ain't going to make the same
Less
amount
money.
of
Yeah.
And a lot of teams aren't going to pick you up because you did something probably pretty
Like
bad.
the guy with the Raiders right now,
pretty
right?
stupid.
Like, I mean, and whatever he did, I mean, there's stories coming out.
I
But
don't know if he did anything bad. I think what he did is he probably didn't play the way he wanted to play, and they had an injury and an incident to get him. It's a business.
Yeah.
It's a bit, and that's what our young people are learning. And college. I'm older. College was meant for growth,
Yeah.
not mistakes.
But now you're getting paid.
But now you're getting paid.
different,
and
yeah.
when you,
It's different.
it's like, and then some of them find out their value ain't what they think it is, and their feelings get hurt.
Been
That's
there
probably
before.
a lot of them.
I've been there
Well,
before.
There's a lot of them. And you're like, well, why didn't I get this? Well, you haven't done this yet. Well, I'm going to. Well, yeah, I used to.
But I'm not
believe
paying
that.
you until you
But I
do it.
can't pay you until you prove it.
Right.
You talked about your roster and putting all this stuff together and going in the port. You have also, and one thing that I've seen you focus on is also recruiting at the high school level.
Right.
And that's something that you have continued to focus on. So talk about that. And still, I know you talked about it with us before, but for somebody that's just seeing this, why do you think that is still an important thing to build your roster out?
Because I still think every kid playing high school football looks for signing day.
Yeah.
And so whether or not their dream is to come to Eastern Kentucky, when it gets down to the fact that they're deciding between us and whoever, and they pick us, they're excited about being there. Everything's new, everything's fresh. They're going away from the first time. They need to be developed. So I think they have an appreciation for us and have an opportunity to trust what we're doing more than anybody else they're going to play for, unless they have a terrible experience.
Yeah.
then the transfer will maybe have a better situation. But if they have a good experience, even if it doesn't work the way they wanted it to work, and they still had a good experience, they're going to be loyal to us to a degree, because loyalty is not really there anymore with our players as much as it used to be.
Yeah.
I mean, some of it was forced, it used to be. So I think that, and I think the fact that everybody is jumping into the transfer portal and grabbing kids, there's a better player for EKU than probably what we're getting from a transfer portal. Now, that doesn't mean we haven't gone to the portal and had good players.
Yeah.
We do. I mean, I can sit here and rattle off a bunch. But I also think we've had really good high school. I mean, you look at Maddox Marcellus, who left us to go to Virginia. You look at Tyrell Green, who left us to go to Purdue. You look at Jaden Higgins, all three of them had minimum offers, and in the end, they chose to come to EKU. And in the end, it was hard for all of them to walk in my office and tell me they were leaving. But they did.
Yeah.
That's why I expected from anybody to come do that. And what we're finding out is some of them are walking in and leaving, and then finding out that their value is not what it should be. And so what they got to realize is, how many guys we put 13 or 15 guys in. They didn't count the COVID year, but from 21 to now, 4 seasons, we put 15 guys that signed contracts of some sort.
Yeah.
Either
Play professionally,
free agent in the NFL, CFL, or UFL, and gone to camps and had opportunities to play at the next level. So you can do that here, and we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 make it in the NFL in 4 years. That's pretty good, Yeah. And it'll be 6 if Mike makes it. So, you can do those things. Sometimes consistency in your performance and them seeing you do that is good. I don't recommend anybody leave with 1 year left.
Yeah.
And they look at me like I'm crazy sometimes, and I go, I get it, man. Do what you got to do. But you're asking me my opinion. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what I believe. It may be what you want to hear, but it may be what I believe. Because you may go somewhere, you may have put 3 years of great work in here and built a great resume. We've had, the last 3 years, we've had all 32 teams come by at least 3 times a year to watch us practice. So they're getting seen.
Yeah.
We've had guys go to the combine. We had guys go to the I can't remember if we had anybody in the Senior Bowl, but we had guys go to the East-West Shrine game multiple years, the Hula Bowl, all these all-star games. And, so you're getting seen, right?
Yeah, the exposure's there.
You're getting seen.
Yeah.
So why not stay here? You're going to play. Every year we've been here, we've played 2, on the average, we've played 2 FBS teams, 1 Power 4, 1 non-Power 4. So you're going to go play those people and put that on tape.
Yeah.
Sometimes one time and going and playing really well is better than 12 to 15 times of maybe playing average.
You're giving them a chance to make an impact and be seen.
You got to make the scouts make a decision.
Yeah.
Now that guy's got to make a decision. Well, he played really good. All right, we played Louisville this year. Oh, he played really good against Louisville and played really good against Marshall. Can't say the competition was not whatever, whatever they always say. I'm going to have to stand on the table for this guy. Because if I don't stand on the table and, John over here with the other NFL team does, and he goes there and is good, they may fire me.
Yeah.
So you got to understand where you built your worth sometimes, and dance with who brung you is the way to go. Sometimes you got to roll. I get it. Sometimes immediate help is what you need. I'm not here to tell them what to do. I'm here to tell them what I think is best for them. But they have to decide. And those conversations are hard because sometimes you have to say things, like, hey, man, I get it. You need to go. I can't do nothing about that. We'd love to have you here. I think it'd be just as good for you here, except for financially it's not going to be.
Well, you've had a lot of success, with quarterbacks too. Look what Parker's done.
Mm-hmm.
Matt had a great year last year for you. And going into this year, that's something that I think people quarterbacks are always what people want to talk about. And you've got some good ones to choose from.
We do.
Last year I think it was, maybe a couple of weeks before the first game when you made the decision to go with Matt. Right. So talk about that quarterback room and, from the guys you brought in out of high school and the portal and what that looks like as you all start fall camp.
Well, we had 2 guys in the in the spring, Miles Burkett and Colby Lamberth. that really went through all the competition. That's all we had. And then we brought in Tyler Travers, Cam Montgomery, and then we brought in Jordan Potts.
Okay.
So we brought in three guys. Jordan's a transfer from I forget the name of the school. He was at Tennessee Tech, started some games there, transferred to a D2 school. They dropped the whole school, so he was back in the portal again. So we knew about him. We were looking for somebody with some experience. We had the 2 freshmen that we really like, and Jordan we like, and then we had the 2 guys that were here that we really like, Colby and Miles. And so normally somebody's going to leave. I mean, there's only one quarterback, and once you establish a starter, and if they're any good and they're doing anything any good, most guys aren't going to leave. The starter, the starter may leave. He may get recruited out of here.
You never know.
But so you try to make sure you have enough guys that you don't want to go if your quarterback gets dinged up. You don't want to look and be like, man, I didn't do our justice by having a guy ready to go at the number 2. So, Andy Richmond and Maxwell Smith do a great job with our quarterbacks. Andy's our offensive coordinator, he's running back coach, but Andy's been the coordinator the whole time, and the system fits these quarterbacks. And when they don't totally understand something, they can go to Andy, and Andy tells them exactly how he wants it done and why. And once they get that relationship going, it works really well. Maxwell's done a great job of he started with Parker's last year, and then he had Matt last year, so he's been here 2 years. And him and Andy are on the same page, and they talk the same language. So, your quarterback is your most important position. I mean, I'm an offensive line guy, I always have been, but your quarterback's your most important because they make things go. And if they can't read defenses and throw the football, then they better, then you got to run triple option.
Yeah.
All right, I got a funny question. So when we were talking to some of the players, I asked them, do you ever get out there and go, they just called a play and I don't remember which play it was.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell when they're out there running a play and they run the wrong play?
Oh, yeah. I mean, immediately. And it's screwed.
But you're like, wait, did I screw up this play or is they running the wrong play?
Sometimes when you're calling a play, you got that. That's why, like, script review. I mean, people don't understand why. They're like, why do you spend so much time up here? Well, because if you're shifting and motioning on offense, you better make sure you're shifting your motion into what you can run the play to, whether it's a run or whether it's a pass or a screen or a trick or whatever. You've got to do that. So you got to have a script review and you got to go through it. Well, you as a coordinator, and I've been there, may have a couple other things on your mind, and let's just breeze through this.
Yeah.
And the wide receiver coach goes, Coach, we can't do that. And you're like, do what? Well, he can't run that from there. Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay. And you got to go through it all and then, you've got to teach it that way to the guys. So we do walkthroughs. We have morning walkthroughs. We have walkthroughs before practice. And then, they have meetings, 2 sets of meetings to go through everything. And we just go through the script of that day because we want to see, is this a good play? Can we execute this play? Or is it going to get so-and-so the ball? Yeah. How is it going to get so-and-so the ball? And do all those types of things.
But I can't imagine switching it up.
Well, you say script. Do you guys still script plays ahead of a game? Like, do you go into a game thinking, we've got these 10 plays we want to run to start out with?
Right. We do that. But when I say script review, I'm talking about at practice. Everything's scripted. Everything is scripted. Yeah. Unless I say you don't have to script it, it's live. Yeah. Just call it.
Okay.
And so they script, everything so they can, when I was a coordinator, I had all these things on the wall, and I would just, all right, I ran this play against that defense, this play against that coverage, this play against and just tick it all through there. So when people would script, they would look up there and say, all right, we ran it 4 ways that way, we better run it against this. And because you don't want to send a kid out on the field in a game in front of how many people you're playing in front of, and he's ran that play once in practice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't fair to the kid. That ain't fair because they're still kids and or young men, and they may blank out, especially if they're not veteran enough to understand.
And nervous.
Yeah.
And some guys learn football better than other guys.
Well, it's a lot to remember.
It's a lot to remember. And, the quarterback's got to remember it all.
Yeah.
He's got to understand the protection. He's got to understand the routes. He's got to understand, the defense that's coming at him, the drop, the this, the that, the timing. I mean, he's got all that to remember. And so that's why it takes some guys sometimes to do
Yeah,
that.
because I can't imagine setting the play, the offensive play, and then defense switches, and you're like, okay, we're going to change it back.
Just think about on defense.
Yeah,
All
same.
right, you take a tight end and move him from the left side to the right side. They got to figure something out.
Yeah, where's he going?
So then if you take the tight end from the left side to the right side and then bring the Z in motion,
Yeah.
now they got to figure that out.
Do you understand what the Z means?
Well, I'd have never played football, but I know
haven't
when
either.
they switch it up around the
Yeah,
back.
I was playing college football with my son yesterday, and I
Yeah.
was trying to teach him, different things. I don't even know what I'm talking about half the time, but yeah, it's interesting whenever you're sitting there and you're like controlling stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just picking a play that's on. You guys have got. Well, how many plays do you think you have like in the playbook?
Oh, gosh. In the playbook? I couldn't tell you. I mean,
Over 100?
oh,
Yeah,
definitely.
easily,
I mean,
yeah.
when it comes to routes, but you got to remember, one play, just say you're running a simple power play, which is a run play. A power run play can be ran 15 different ways.
How the blocking schemes
And so that
everything are,
changes
yeah.
everything. Now, the concept's still the same of what we're trying to accomplish. And I call that the mission of the play. You have to know the mission of the play, and then you can figure the rest of it out. But, they come out in a 3-down look, a under look, an overlook, a bear look, a mint look, a okie look.
That I couldn't tell you what any of that means.
I mean, all
Then you
that.
decide what you're going to call from the blocking side of things.
Well,
there.
then the center's got to figure all that out
Yeah.
and tell everybody.
Man.
I mean, it's the reality of dumb football players is always been a myth to me. Now, I wasn't very smart, but I mean, the realities of a dumb football player, it's really football players make poor decisions. They really do. Because if they're dumb, they can't play football either.
Right. Right. It's
Yeah.
a lot.
Now, there's very few that are not
We do understand that.
cannot academically probably keep up, but have the understanding of football.
Yeah, just the
There
play.
are
yeah.
very few that do that. Most of them put more emphasis in football, and they slack
not
on
their
and that's why their
academics.
academics fail. Which I mean, we're fortunate. We've broke records academically. We've got good kids, but it's decisions that are dumb, not people.
Well,
You
you
got
tell
more-
people to find your passion. That's their passion.
Yeah.
That's right.
Because you just said a couple of times already that if they don't love football, don't come to EKU.
Don't come.
I can't imagine not loving football and wanting to like, I don't know if your mom and dad are pushing you into it. I can't imagine
Yeah.
Well,
that if they don't love it, why would you put yourself
Here's
through
the
this?
thing. All right, football at the high school they love. Most
Yeah.
people don't not love it there.
Slower pace,
but,
more fun, possibly.
Scholarship means a lot to a lot of people.
Yes.
Mhm.
They don't come from the means that somebody could pay for it. So the scholarship, sometimes is more important than the football. Like a lot of times when a walk-on gets a
That
scholarship,
makes sense. Yeah.
he becomes average because he's got the goal. The goal was,
Get the
the scholarship.
scholarship.
Get the
Yeah.
scholarship.
and it's like, no, that's just the beginning.
Yeah.
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 You just hit the beginning of what you
Yeah.
need to do.
Well, listen, if you got time to hang out with
Yeah.
us to finish this
Stay
thing
as
out,
long as you
okay, we
need.
got
We
one more
knew
commercial
we could
break.
keep you around,
Yeah, and let's talk
Coach.
about the season. We're right around the corner. We need to get ticket sales up, all the good stuff. So let's talk about that when we come back. Don't go anywhere. More with the head man from the Colonels football team, Walt Wells, on the other side. This is the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show.
You know what they say. Every great season starts with a strong lineup. Neat agility, the Trailblazer cuts through traffic like a wide receiver in the red zone. Power, the Silverado handles work and tailgates like a linebacker on a mission. And if you're ready to go electric, the Equinox EV has the range to go all the way. No matter your game plan, Jack Burford Chevrolet has a vehicle that suits your drive. Stop in, suit up, and let's kick off your next adventure.
Who makes the best meal in Richmond? Nuevo Vallarta. Friendly service, a place that's good for kids and good for groups. Head to Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond. Nuevo Vallarta is known for warm hospitality, great prices, great food, and the best fajitas in town. Start with an appetizer, order a la carte, or choose from their huge menu of Mexican favorites for grown-ups and kids. Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond.
We would like to invite you to join our family at Bishop's Small Engine Repair. Outdoor Power has become a family tradition, with 3 generations here bringing you years of experience. We will help you find the best selection of outdoor power equipment from Co-Cadet, Grasshopper, DeWalt, Makita, Echo, Shindawa, and now Steel in our Georgetown store. Or bring your equipment into our service department. We will keep it running for years to come. And as with all families, we have to keep Mama happy. So come on in and see us at Bishop's Small Engine Repair in Richmond and in Georgetown.
Patrick O'Neill has been serving Central and Eastern Kentucky since 1995. When someone is accused of something they didn't do, or when a good person makes a mistake, they need the best representation they can find. And that's Patrick O'Neill. Whether it's criminal defense, Social Security, disability, personal injury, workers' compensation, or deeds and wills, when you need legal advice, trust the expertise of Patrick O'Neill. He will get you the money you deserve. His office is located in Jackson, but Patrick practices all over Central and Eastern Kentucky. For more information or for a free consultation, call 606-666-2990.
Our bodies deserve more. We put them through a lot, and oftentimes the aches and the stress of everyday life can take a toll. Escape all of that and enter your sanctuary of relaxation with a trip to the massage studio in Berea. Unwind, rejuvenate, and restore balance to your body and mind with help from their expert massage therapist. Like the Massage Studio on Facebook for more information, and get back to being you. Welcome back into the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. Michael Watkins, Samantha Burford finishing things up with the head football coach of the EKU Colonels, Walt Wells.
Always said.
Well, we were texting today, and Samantha goes, gosh, what are we going to do? How are we going to fill a full hour? I said, well, we got Coach coming on.
We've
said, well, we could probably
said
get 40 minutes out
probably,
of him.
Oh, you said 30, and I said we could definitely get 40 minutes
Well,
out
I
of
didn't know
Coach.
what his schedule was. I know the missus is still kind of laid up, right?
Tell us about the number one fan of the EKU
She
football
is
team.
tougher than a
Jen
$2
Wells.
steak. Love her to death. She had a pretty bad accident. I don't want to get too in detail with it, but we had to spend 3 or 4 days up at UK in the hospital, and originally went to Baptist, and they sent us up there to see where she's at, and she's at home healing, and probably about 10 more weeks to find out if we got to go further with surgery or if she's healed right. And so she is
not going to make the Louisville game.
She's not going to make a lot of games, maybe home games, hopefully. We'll see how she, progresses. And then my daughter's been a, warrior. She's done a great job of taking good care of her and my son, and every now and then me. But
so Maddie is the nurse, not Coach Wells.
No.
So yeah.
Well, Maddie was a nurse. Maddie's a good little nurse. She's the one.
I'd say KJ's taking pretty good care of her.
He's worried about his mama.
He's a
that's
mama's
for sure.
boy.
He's worried about his mama. That's for sure.
And I don't blame
boy
him.
too.
I don't blame him.
Well, no, you're talking about people coming over and fixing meals and stuff for you.
Yeah.
There's not been any complaining, though, that Samantha hasn't cooked for her yet.
No,
I don't know what that means. So.
You don't want me to
You
cook.
don't bring that up, but we are grateful for everybody.
I'll bring some Millstone Social.
There you go.
There's been a lot of people step up and take care of. I was gone. The next week when she got home.
You had media day.
I had media day and
yeah.
some things, and you just. It does nothing stops for anything, as we all know, and so we've had some really gracious people step up and take care of our family, and we really appreciate it.
Well, we need her to
Thank
get
you to all of them.
her fixed up. I missed the Facebook post. We got to get her back on the Facebook. And get
Is she not Facebooking?
She is, but she's slacking a little bit. You have to get on to her now. I know she's laid up, but we can still get the phone in her hand and get her out there posting some more.
She's probably watching. She's probably hearing you.
Okay, all right.
So-
Well, Miss Jen, we missed your Facebook post, so we're ready to get them back.
I heard a rumor that she got a new TV out of this.
She got a new TV in her spare bedroom. That's right, because the mattress is more. She's got a back issue. Mattress is more firm in a spare bedroom than in the.
And maybe lower to the
master bedroom.
ground.
And lower
maybe.
to the ground.
Yeah.
She doesn't have to climb up.
She doesn't have to climb up. And I think the first couple of times she's afraid I was going to roll on her or something. So. So anyway, long story short, she's been sleeping in there, but she's got a nice little TV now. And
There you go. Got her set up.
we had one in there like we'd never had anybody stay in the spare bedroom much. They stay downstairs, and And so, anyway, long story short, we didn't even know if it worked or not. It didn't.
You got a new
It,
one
it
in
was
there.
good.
That's
It was a good look, even when people
Yeah.
walk by. Oh, you got a TV in there.
Well, if she's got to be in that room so many hours a
Yeah.
day just healing, she needs a TV.
And the bad thing
And
is she's got to sit
Netflix
straight
and
and all that.
Hulu
Yeah.
and everything else that y'all need to give her.
She was. They trust me. They've had that.
Well, one of the things that we haven't talked about yet is looking ahead to the season. We got Louisville first game. I mean, we're a month away essentially now, so we're right there with the first game, kind of right around the corner. And last year we talked about the goals that you had. One of those was winning every game at home. Check mark on that.
Right.
Winning a conference championship. Close enough, right? We got that done.
Yeah.
And then now we got you making the playoffs. You guys did that. So talk about what the goals are for this year. Obviously, you want to defend home turf, and you got a really good opportunity, a good home schedule again this year to do just that.
Well, I think we put our goals as the same. I mean, I think our goals were established a long time ago at EKU football. Not every program has the tradition and the championships that we have. I mean, we're redoing the banners in the stadium and everything because we've got a new
nice.
playoff appearance. And so, you realize how much has been done here and how many opportunities have been here to try to win a national championship, and it's hard to do. But our goals are always going to be undefeated at home, win a conference championship, and win a national championship because I think that's the standard that was set here under Coach Kidd and have been carried out throughout the rest of the people that have been the head coaches here. So I think that's our goals. We have objectives that we want to meet in both in training camp and in the season and things that we want to do. Last year we were talking about we didn't feel like in 23 we finished the way we needed to. This year we're talking about dominating.
Yeah.
And the one thing I'm going to express to our team throughout training camp is dominating doesn't mean just coming out and just embarrassing somebody.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about dominating your mindset, your work habits, your studying the tape. That's right. Dominate the moment you're in. That's what's important because everything culminates into what you do on the field. Yes. Do I want to just do I want to kill everybody? Yeah. I mean, not physically kill people, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Play well and do those things. Sure. Every coach in America, if they don't, then they're probably not telling you the truth. But the reality is that's not going to happen. People are going to recruit good players too. They're going to have good schemes too.
Yeah.
So now you got to dominate everything that it takes to beat a team like that and then beat good football teams because that's hard to do. What are you going to do? I mean, what are you going to do when you go up to certain, it doesn't have to be Louisville. Say Houston Christian is the next game, right? What are you going to do when you go up and you think you're going to just kill, just physically manhandle everybody and Houston Christian's got a really good player.
Yeah.
And you find that out. When you underestimate somebody usually hits you right square in the mouth. We want to dominate everything like that and leave no doubt that we did everything that we can to be the best.
And I feel like it's small goals, like you said, in the moment.
Right.
Everything that you're doing right now leads up to that.
I remember the celebration after senior day at home and just that closing out that perfect
Yeah,
record at
that
home. And
was
that game was
awesome.
right down to the wire, too.
No,
Mike
it
made the
was.
big
Yeah.
play right there at the end. But when you look back and then look ahead, what can you take from last season and use that to build toward those goals this season?
Well, I think the biggest thing is it's not easy, and every week's a new week, and you've got to focus in on that. And the hardest thing to do, we're going to be a younger football team than we were last year, and a more inexperienced team in some areas. You have to be consistent in your mindset. I mean, it's one of our core values, and we go passion, purpose, pride, and toughness, and purpose is consistency and performance for the championship mindset. So what we're trying to do is be consistent, but what does championship mindset mean? You can consistently be average.
Yeah.
So is that purpose? No, that's not purpose. That's not what we're looking for. So we have to improve every day. We have to improve 1%. The guys that were here last year, did a great job for us, but we still didn't get our goals accomplished. So we have to push forward to get everything you want. If you want to do everything, and I've told our team this, look at the 2019 LSU team. They were good. They were dominant. They were great. Guess what? They got all the spoils.
Yeah.
And then the very next year, they weren't. And
It can go quick,
and it
right?
goes fast.
Yeah.
Consistency is what we're looking to build. We want to be like the great teams of the past. We want to honor that, but we want to do it for us too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We want to do it for everybody, but we want to do it for us. And if you're not staying in the moment and trying to improve, you're not going to get to where you want to get to. You're going to let somebody beat you. Like I thought the 2-game losing skid we had last year in FCS against Southern Utah and then Abilene Christian, we didn't play hard. And everybody's like, well, this says you played hard. No, we didn't play as hard as they did. And that's all that really matters. And then we made mistakes. And so, we had a good meeting on Monday after Abilene Christian and showed tapes and challenged. And that's the other thing I tell recruits. If you don't want to be coached hard, don't come here. Because it ain't going to be easy. And if you call I'm not talking to mama.
Yeah.
I'll talk to her about your grades. I'll talk to her about your social life. I'll talk to you about your whatever you want, health, whatever. I'm not talking about playing time. If you need to do that, then you need to talk to me about all them other things first. And that doesn't mean I'm not going to, try to keep you and all this and develop you and do all that. That's not the point I'm trying to make. But be involved in everything, not just one thing. No. And, if you handle those other things, your football is going to take care of itself. And if you're not good enough, that's our fault. We shouldn't have recruited you. If you're not big enough, strong enough, fast enough, tough enough, we shouldn't have recruited you. And that's no disrespect to you. And that's really a disrespect to us because we're not doing it the way we should be. And that rests on me.
We got 4 minutes. You got one more question?
Oh, man. Of course.
I know.
Many questions. But let's talk about the season.
I got his number if you want to text him after the show.
Let's talk about the season. I mean, we want to remind everybody to get your tickets. Go to EKUsports.com. Yeah. It's important that we get those seats filled.
Yeah, pack
we
the kid.
need to pack the kid. You can get on the website. You can see about every game. There's always, you guys do such a fabulous job, and this isn't really a question, but we just want to remind everybody, and we need a lot of maroon at that Louisville game.
Yeah,
August 30th.
And I didn't even realize Marshall was that close. If we can go to Louisville, we can go to Marshall too. I mean, it's 2 hours.
Marshall's a long-time rivalry for EKU.
Yes,
back in the 90s, 80s, before Marshall went FBS, and we played them my first game here in COVID, and it was a drive-by shooting. They were really good. We were really average, and they showed it. We were the first game of the COVID season on national television, ESPN, not ESPN 14, ESPN, and they just came out and went, But hopefully, we've improved our program. They just finished Sun Belt champions last year, and their coach left, but they've
had a lot of success.
They've
over
had
the
some
years.
success, and so it's going to be a tough matchup. And we've got games at home with Nichols and Houston Christian non-conference, and then. But our home schedule is really good. We've got Abilene Christian coming in. We've got
that's a big one.
Tarleton coming in, and we got Austin Peay coming in.
Yeah.
So we've got we had them all on the road and went 2-1 in those games last year, and so obviously we want to go 3-0 in those this year, and not to mention the others. I mean, we've got Southern Utah coming back into town, and then I think that's probably it. That's probably six. But I think we've got a great home schedule. I think if you come and enjoy yourself at Roy Kidd Stadium, I think our athletic administration has done a nice job of getting, your tailgate show, getting music out there. We got inflatables for kids.
Right.
Fireworks after the game or during the game.
And bringing back former teams.
We've got the light show.
They do a great job
That's
at
right.
that.
We bring former teams
It's fun. It's a fun environment because nowadays you're not only selling the product on the field, you got to entertain them during the timeouts and everything
else. And it's affordable.
And we we got the bouncy house up at the top of the hill.
Samantha loves that. She's up there all the time.
And so, food and everything. I mean, everything's – I think it's a great atmosphere. You're going to see NFL players.
Yeah.
You're going to see good football games. You're going to see teams competing. It's a great place to bring your family, I think. And I really encourage our students, and I know they're probably not watching much, but on this, we need that student section, Maroon Platoon, to be as big as it can be. And they've done a great job, but we need them back on the hill. We need everything going.
Well, I want to say this, and I know you up north, we got a lot better chance to compete for something than what up north has got. So let's come down here and support the Colonels this year. A good brand of football, a lot of fun to be had, and you will not be disappointed in what they put out there on the field.
I can't think of, I don't know a lot of coaches, but I can't think of any coach that doesn't love their team as much as
he might rank number 15 in the poll. He's number 1 in our hearts.
That's right. That's right.
That's all that matters to me.
Who's taking a vote?
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah, there we go.
Number
and
one.
listen, and listen,
You even got a fan club here behind you. You'll see here in a minute. But he's got some fans here that walked in about 20 minutes ago.
We got about 20 seconds, Coach. We always appreciate you coming
yes,
out. We're looking forward to hopefully we can get you back over before that first game. I know you got a lot on the plate.
Give our best to Jen.
Yeah. I'll do it. I'll
Love
do it.
her.
And I appreciate everything that y'all have done for our program, because you don't understand the moms. You know, you ask those questions, and you're really just asking to know and understand. But those moms watch this show. They get on you. It's easy to get on YouTube and find it and
watch their sons.
And they watch everything, and they see their sons, and they're proud of them, and it just makes their heart warm. And it really helps us out in a lot of different ways. And so really appreciate the show and everything y'all do, having us on and giving us all this time in this summer. And I'll come back anytime. And you just let me know, and we'll figure it out and do it.
There we go. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next Monday. Have a great week. Enjoy the county fair, and we'll see you next time on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show.